welcome to this week's episode of Wand and Crown. I'm Haley. That is Keeley. See, it's switched on
I'm on the
every single episode. Before this, it has been the other way. And so I finally got in my head to go the other way. Okay. Keeley is in the other square.
Somewhere.
And we're apparently starting this off riding the struggle bus. Anyway, this week's episode is going to be kind of an update on Epic Universe, the things that we have learned, because it is almost 2 months. It's a little over 2 months out from when it opens, when we are dropping this episode. So we're starting to learn a lot. Apologies in advance. This is probably going to be one of our longer episodes. We're going to try to keep it to the highlights and newer things that we're learning, but we also want to, kind of touch on all the different aspects of the 5 lands that are going to be in Epic Universe, so that we're not just throwing things at you without context.
Or we
Oh yeah, no, we're just going to word vomit at you. That's what we do best, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
So already said, a little over 2 months until Epic Universe opens. It is opening on May 22nd of 2025. And it is the first new park to open in Florida, Orlando area.
Orlando, yeah.
Since Animal Kingdom opened in 1998?
I think it was 98. Yep. Joe Rohde's masterpiece. Yeah. So that's really exciting because nothing's really like, we've had lands and stuff added to the parks, like between Disney and Universal, but nothing like brand new like this.
I'm so excited. I wish we could be there like right opening day, but I'm also terrified for opening day. I think this park is going to stay busy for a good few years.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to stay busy, and we'll get into like, I know you get the question a lot. I get a lot. I posted on my Instagram stories about Express, but we'll get into that because I try to explain to people like why it's not there yet, but we'll get into that. That's one of the highlights we'll go over. But yeah, I would say the first like 3 years I think is going to be insane. Minimum. I say insane. I think like crowded, and then it'll even out. Like it's still gonna stay busy, but I think it's gonna be,
it's gonna plateau some.
It will. It'll be like the other parks.
Yeah, both Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade were pretty similar, and they were lands, so they were very compact. If you wanted to see those places, it was smushed in. This at least is a brand new park, so people can kind of disperse throughout whatever land.
And there's so much to do. And I'm really excited. I know I told you I was like going over this episode in my mind last night, and I just like, as I was kind of going through everything, and again, we'll get into this like as we kind of go through the lands, but this is like one point that I wanted to make as I was thinking about it, because obviously I think about things differently now because I have a kid, and now I'm like, and especially because he's now a little over a year, and I'm like seeing how he interacts. Like he's not just a little, I mean, he's a potato head, but like he's not a potato anymore. He's not just a potato, he's a potato head. So I think a big misconception about Universal Parks in general is that it's just for adults.
Yeah.
And it's, yes, is it more thrill rides, more adult rides? Yeah, sure. And I think that studios and islands, like they have kids stuff. They have Zeus Landing. They've added the DreamWorks, they've added Minions, like there's stuff there. But personally, I feel like it's there, but I feel like it was an afterthought of like, okay, we need to add more kids stuff here. I feel like with Epic, it's very much built for everybody. Like it's built with kids in mind and families in mind, and it doesn't feel like it was an afterthought to kind of add some stuff in for them. And I think as we go through the lands and like talk about the different rides, like you'll see that like that's kind of what it is. It truly is. There's stuff for everybody, and I'm gonna probably say that for everybody. Like there's stuff for everybody, but there really is. Like there's just so much like fun stuff that like It feels just like they truly like really mapped this out and really thought about it, and you can tell that just from this initial like it's not even open yet except for like team member previews, and you can already tell that like it was so thought out.
The
I know.
team member. Everyone,
I know.
and I know that people are going to say that the team members are biased because they work for Universal, but I don't. The videos that we're seeing coming out of their reactions, we're not seeing the parks yet. You can't fake that of awe.
And they're yeah, and it's just I can't imagine it's going to be anything but great.
Anything but
Epic. I know all of my Universal emails
to do that.
all of my Universal emails have epic in it, so yeah.
It's gonna be epic. Okay.
Epic.
Probably not.
All right, well, let's go over, I guess, the highlights of it. So we did our last episode on a portion of this. So there's going to be 3 new hotels. Stella Nova is already open, so you can go check out our last video. Haley stayed there. I visited for a little bit, and then our friends Brian and Ellie, who are tagged in that video, they stayed opening night. So we did a little review recap of that. So that's one of them. Stella Nova. Terra Luna is opening. Let me check my notes. March
23rd, I think.
23rd. That sounds right. I thought I had it in there. The notes.
It's the very end of March, so it will be open a little bit after this episode drops.
Correct. So that hasn't opened yet. That was pushed back. They weren't going to open at the same time, but they did push that opening back. But Terra Luna and Stella Nova are sister hotels. And they're very similar. They're really cool. Again, go watch our episode. We go way more into detail. So those are going to be the Value Prime hotels. So you still get your early park admission. You still can take the buses to City Walk and Islands and Studios, but you can walk or bus over to Epic, and it's extremely close.
I mean, literally. Anyway, yeah,
it's across the street. It's essentially across the street.
Yeah, it's not Helios that is connected to the parks, but it's walkable.
Yes, and then you have Helios, and I can never remember the full name of it. I think it's Universal's Helios Grand Hotel. I think it's a lot of words.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. There's like when I was just there, I had the training. It's literally 5 words. They had us map it out and get the correct long title of it. But anyway, so Helios. It's Helios. You know what? Yeah, it's Helios. That is not open yet. That is opening in tandem with the park. And that's going to be a signature resort. So that'll have
it's on the same level as like Hard Rock and
Portofino and Lowe's. Lowe's World Pacific. That one I say the full name for. Yeah. So it's on tier with them. The one big difference, and I feel like this is going to keep coming up throughout this episode. There's no express pass when you stay at Helios. There's no express pass at Epic right now.
And that applies to no express pass at the other 2 parks either.
Yes.
So if you want to stay at Helios, awesome, fantastic, amazing.
No express pass.
Those for the day to go over to the other parks.
Correct. 0 express pass if you were staying at Helios for any Universal property. The price that I've seen does match that. Like, it's not as expensive as the others, which, if you want to just walk into Epic Universe, that's what you're essentially paying for, which I think could be worth it. But yeah, so again, this is a whole we're just going over the highlights. But yeah, as of right now, there is no express. But there are 3 new hotels, and like I said, if you stay any hotel on Universal property, you will get the early park admission. They're not having it opening day of Epic Universe, but the following day is when the early park admission starts at Epic. You can go into the other 2 parks on May 22nd, but on May 22nd, you cannot get into Epic early. May 23rd, you can get all 3 theme parks early. I'm not counting Volcano Bay right now.
I'm fully expecting them to do some sort of big, opening day extravaganza.
They're going to have to.
Yeah. So that would be why they're not going to.
They want it to feel I don't know. I think they want everybody that's going to be there opening day to have the same experience. I'm not saying like, oh, you're a hotel guest, but they want that to be for everybody, not
Yeah.
just hotel guests at that for opening day. I mean, they had a churro cart at the opening of Velocicoaster. So like they go all out for when like things open. I know. So yeah.
I'm sorry. I love that you think that a churro cart is going all out.
I didn't know. Okay, no. Not go. Do you know the lore behind the churro cart at Velocicoaster? Okay, very quickly. I'll make this really quick.
Okay.
Essentially, they started building Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure, I don't know, back in 2018, I think it was. And they never announced anything, didn't announce a single thing. And everybody's like, what are you building? Like, we can clearly see it across the lagoon. We can see it. Like, what are you building? And they said, oh, it's just a churro cart. When on the entire construction of Velocicoaster, all they said was it's a churro cart. So they had the park's president there opening day of Velocicoaster with a churro cart. They committed to the bit. This is what I'm saying. So see, they went all out.
Okay. I'll go.
It's their social media team is amazing. But yeah, so if they did that for a single ride for a social media joke, I can only imagine what they're gonna do opening day of a park opening. Like I know. This is what I'm saying. You can't beat their social media team. Anyway, so yeah, so that's a quick overview on the 3 new hotels that we're seeing. Like I said, go check out our other episode to get like more in depth on them. But yeah, we don't have time to go into them. I could go into depth of everything. So there's 5 new lands. I I think as I go through islands counterclockwise, I list everything counterclockwise. I don't know what, because think when you go into islands, when you go in for LA Park Commission, they direct you to Zeus Landing, and then
I'm gonna be completely honest. I just walk. Hope for the best.
whatever. Okay, I
Remember, I
mentally.
haven't done early park entry for any of.
Yeah, we did. We did early park entry 2 years ago. Yes, we did. When you stayed at Cabana Bay, when you and I stayed at Cabana Bay, we left Summit and we went to
I will trust your memory of this
because I was pregnant.
Hagrid's with
Because
Sarah.
I was pregnant and I couldn't ride. Yes, and I said you can use my room key if we don't add you to the room because I'm not going to go in because I can't do any. See.
Okay.
Anyway,
Don't do
so you go in counterclockwise. So I go in counterclockwise of the lands.
We walk
so if you're in Helios, you're just gonna walk in, like you're in.
Yeah. You're gonna have to walk in and get to Celestial Park regardless. It is the hub.
It is, yeah. So you're gonna walk into Celestial Park, and then you have, and it's gonna be backwards on the camera here, but then you have How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, Dark Universe. I know. And then Super Nintendo. I always say Super Mario, Super Nintendo World. It's more than that. So that's like kind of, and they consider it.
Yeah.
I think they said they considered a spoke layout, like similar to Magic Kingdom, where it's like I don't know, but I'm like Islands is like that in my mind. That like Islands is the same. Like I don't know. So those are the 5 lands. We're gonna go into depth of them a little bit more, but still like, topically in depth. I don't know because there's so much to cover.
Anyway, the 2 parks that are gonna come with the early entry, or the 2 areas that are gonna come with early entry are going to be.
Because it's not the whole park.
Yeah, it's not the whole park. It's gonna be Celestial Park, and it's gonna be Super Nintendo World. So the rides that will be included are going to be it's the Stardust Racers, Yoshi's Adventure, Bowser's Challenge, which is Mario Kart, and Minecart Madness, which is the fun trackless ride over.
Excited for that.
I'm so excited because it's not in Hollywood.
Correct. And I think I'm glad that they're doing that here. They've expanded upon it. And again, we'll get into that like when we cover that land. But I'm glad we've seen, I feel like we've gotten a good taste of what's at Hollywood, but the fact that they could expand a little bit more in Orlando is what I'm really excited for, because they were limited in Hollywood of space. It's in the Hollywood, isn't it? It's in the Hollywood Hills. Well, like technically outside the Hollywood Hills. It's right.
I do not know. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's very close. So they're limited on space.
I go to Anaheim and I go to Irvine to see my friend, and that's it.
Okay. Well, they're limited on space and they have the studio there and they have like way more constraints than what is in Orlando. And that goes
Yeah.
for like Disneyland and Disney World too. Like same thing. Disney World has so much more space to work with, whereas land is like stuck. Yeah. Um, so yeah, so that's a big thing to keep in mind is early park admissions, not the whole park. It's only select rides. Granted, Islands of Adventure is the same thing. Only Harry Potter's open for Harry Potter and Velocicoaster are the only parts that are open for early park admission. Studios doesn't even have early park admission, though I think they may add it with the opening of Epic. I think they might add it. It's here and there. It's not every day. It's not consistent.
Yeah.
So
We
I think
also want to say that these are the areas that are going to be available at park opening. Like when the park itself is opening, these are the
oh
areas that are available for early park admission. That could change.
yeah.
They could, I don't know, turn
I
Island.
don't
I don't know
I
that
don't
they,
think it
and I don't
will.
think if they do, it will be anytime within the next year or two. But
Yeah.
just if you're watching this several years into the future, this could be different.
Right? Check the app. Check the app. Check the app.
Um,
Check your tickets. Always for everything. Everything. Even your park hours because they change at the drop of a hat sometimes. Not really, but check them anyway. Um, so another cool thing, and I saw this during when I was in Universal for training last month. They announced, and we didn't get a lot of Epic information. We got like kind of what was already. I know we got what was already put out there, and we got a lot. We don't know. We're hoping so, and whatever. The one really cool thing is they have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter package that you can book, and there's a lot of details. I'm not going to go into specifics. If you have questions, reach out and we can answer them. But they're included in, and there's again a lot of components to this package. One of them is you get breakfast at the Three Broomsticks or the Leaky Cauldron. Okay, I'm gonna put a disclaimer here. I took 7 years of French. I visited France twice. Don't ask me how to say the name of this restaurant. It's really bad. But the Harry Potter restaurant that's in Ministry of Magic is included in that package. So you can choose to go there for breakfast, which is a really cool little addition. I feel like they're not advertising it that much, and I'm glad they mentioned it during our training because I feel like you're not seeing that.
I've seen it a few places,
Yeah,
but
but it's not like I don't know.
yeah,
I feel like it's a really cool perk.
but the Harry Potter Wizarding World package itself is not widely known either.
That's okay. That's yes. That on top of like they're not. Yeah. No, I agree that that's not like a big like. I don't know why. It's like really cool.
Oh,
I
but
know, but I think that's pretty cool that they're including that. And another carryover that I'm excited for, I know you and I have talked about in October when we go, is we're going to buy the wands because they've upgraded in both of the current parks. And I know in Epic, the interactive wand areas. And Haley and I, we're buying it for research purposes, not for ourselves. I'm buying it for Lucas. You're buying it for research. It's a write off. The write off people write it off.
you can do that one. Anyway,
But no, I think that's really fun because they're like bridging that gap between like the existing parks and then Epic with Harry Potter. At least they're bridging that, so I think that's going to be really cool because they have what is the second generation wands is what they're calling them.
yes, yeah, the second gen one. So there's we'll hop into that since we've started the second gen ones. They've started like opening up more interactive areas in the existing two parks, and making the wands themselves a bit more. I think it's haptic, so like you can feel them pulsing and whatnot. And because there are going to be so many areas over in Epic Universe that you're going to be able to interact with. There's going to be portraits that you can talk to. I think in a training that we took recently, they said they're also looking at doing interactive clothing. I'm interested in seeing what that means.
You know what that reminds me of? The is it Disney? Is it Japan? I don't know. This is years ago. I'm going back where they had Sleeping Beauty's dress would turn from pink to blue, like purple to or pink to blue. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Like that would be cool if they could do something like that.
I appreciate that. I think they meant like actual wearable clothing.
Okay, well, I'm just saying like something to interact with. Never mind. God, just not talk.
Okay, So these highlights are not very highlighty. So we're going to hop over to the ticket types.
They're highlighty. They're fine. Okay, so the ticket types are easier now as of the time of this video.
All exist.
Yes. So we're not going to go into like what they used to be. So currently what you can buy. You can still do your package. You can still do your hotel, your park tickets, do all the parks, all 3 parks, all 4 parks. If you count Volcano Bay, you can still do that. And you get 1 day at Epic included in that package. So if you get like, let's say a 4-day ticket, that includes 4 days at Universal Studios, Universal Islands of Adventure, and Volcano Bay. This is if you get the 3 park ticket plus 1 day at Epic Universe. That portion still stands, and I think that's going to stand for a while. You're only going to get 1 day included in that package. The other days, you can go to any of those parks as much as you want. Epic's only going to be 1 day.
Yeah, and if you do the park to park option for those packages, it is park to park between the other 3 parks.
Epic is its own portion of that package, essentially. Like if you're going to Epic, and you're not going to want to leave Epic either, you're going to want to spend the whole day there.
You have to like head out to go back to the hotel for something. You will be able to come back in.
Yes, you just can't.
It's not.
You just can't go to another park and then come back, or like go to islands in the morning and go to Epic in the afternoon. So that's kind of, and that's, again, this is why you talk to a travel agent, because we know all this stuff, and we can explain it to you, because Universal tickets are confusing. They're really confusing, and it's annoying. So they have, you can get your, if you have a Universal annual pass, you can buy your I think they're discounted a little bit, discounted single day Epic tickets. Geez. They have military options. They have Florida State resident tickets, single day tickets, and then they just have the general admission single day tickets to Epic. So as of right now, you cannot, like, I mean, that kind of goes across the board. You can buy a single day at a time. You can't buy a whole package and go to Epic every single day. There's weird ways around it, but you're going to spend a bunch of money, so probably not worth it.
Unless you really, really want to go to Epic the entire time and you don't care how much money you're spending.
Yeah, you're just going to have to buy a single day ticket. So right now, ticket options are pretty, I would say, basic, similar to the other parks, just a little bit of constraints on them, but like you can still go, you can buy your single day ticket, reach out if you want to. Gotta get the plug in. So yeah, so they've made it a lot easier.
Yes, the difference, the one big caveat being that you can buy the single day tickets right now. You cannot use them until June 1st.
Yes, that's the one big thing. So basically the first full week that park is open, if you don't have a package type that specifies you can be there during that week, you cannot enter. The single day ticket, and you can't buy them before the single day tickets. They start on June 1st, and you have to pick which day you're going. They are put that in there. They are date-based tickets. If you buy a package, when your tickets start is date-based, yes, but you can do whatever mashup you want of going into the parks. So if you want to be there the opening week of Epic Universe, you have to buy a package with the Epic ticket in there. Yes, I forgot to include that in there. So really, after your opening week, it's pretty much like just buy your day ticket to go if you don't want to do all the other parks. It's a lot easier.
They have said that they are kind of they're limiting capacity for certain types of tickets to ensure that everyone should be able to get in. It'll be interesting to see how that works.
And that's from what we were told with like package types. So obviously with like the single day tickets, they can see what they're selling, what day they're going. The package, I don't know how, from what they've told us, they're like basically counting on some like that. I don't know how to describe it. Basically, they're just like counting on you being in,
It's math.
Yeah, it's math. I'm not great at math, but yeah, well, they're basically counting on you being at Epic like every day of your park ticket. Like they're including you in the capacity numbers. Yeah, so like that way, like if it's, and then it's dynamic, and I don't, you know what? I'm not a
That
ticket.
makes complete sense. They're
Yeah.
they're thinking all 5 days in theory you could be there. So they're counting
Correct.
an extra person for all 5 days. And then on the days that you're not there, they're under a person. Okay.
Correct. And then they can, if they want to open up single day tickets for that day because they see, then they can. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think that's gonna last long. I think eventually they'll have it. I mean, they have theme
Yeah,
parks. This
they're
is not a
trying
brand new
yeah.
like
I would assume that it'll probably stay that way for 6 months, if not the first year, and then it'll probably start peeling
yeah.
back, being able to park hop and
Yeah, and just being like a regular package or buying tickets or whatever. Yeah, no, I agree. Um, and again, for probably the 20th time, I'm going to say this episode: no express pass, no express. We don't know. We don't know. We want to know. And when we ask our Universal reps, they tell us we don't know, but we want to know. So we all want to know. Trust me, it is. We're all dying to hear if express is coming. There's lane. From what I've been told, there are express lanes built. Obviously, they are going to have it. It's just a matter of when they're going to have it, when they're going to open it, when they're going to offer it.
I'm going
Keep
with
in
that
mind, and
timeline for express passes.
huh?
I'm going with that same timeline for express passes, 6 months a year.
That's what I told. So one of my recurring clients, they're big Universal people, and she was messaging me. She's like, "We're gonna wait till Express. You know, we're spoiled. We want to wait till Express opens." And I'm like, "I'm really hoping." Because they're only selling single day tickets out till the end of 2025. I'm hoping maybe 26, maybe beginning of 26, like after the holiday season when things kind of die down. I'm kind of hoping that's when they'll at least maybe announce. We'll get an announcement for Express Pass. I'm hoping maybe this year we will. I don't know. This is all very much, I know. It's all very hopeful. So nobody knows except for the powers that be, and the powers that be may not even have an idea of what they're doing yet. But it is going to come. It's just we don't know when.
Yeah.
So
The whole idea that the reason that they are not opening with it is because like they have to have ratios for express pass to regular standby line, how many people they're
there's
through and all that.
there's no
So
data.
yeah, they're trying to make everyone have a good experience and be able to access the parts of the park that they want to access and have a good time.
Yep.
But because they know that this is a brand new park and everyone's going to want to visit and it's going to be busy, so pack your patience pants when you go. It's going to be busy, so they don't want to throw another wrench into the mix right off the bat.
Correct. And my own anecdote with Express Pass, I was there the first year they introduced it. Ratios were horrendous. I actually left a review on Universal's Facebook page. I was like in college. I was with my parents. We were so angry. I know, full boomer of me. But like I was so angry because the ratios were horrific. So I've been there when they started Express Pass in the two existing parks, and it was a nightmare. So I'd rather them wait a little bit and, like you said, get the data, get the ratios right, and it not be that again, because that was such a like, and again, obviously still love Universal, but it was such a bad experience that like I want them to get it as close
Right.
to 100% as possible right off the bat. And if that means we got to wait a little bit, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And I want everyone that's visiting to be able to experience things.
Yeah, and have a good time and not be upset about something. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So it's coming. We'll let you know when it comes out.
Yeah. I also fully expect Helios to at some point be offering express passes as part of its signature designation status.
Yes. And I think
again, we have no idea when that will happen.
Yeah, I think how that's going to work is I think that'll be our bookmark or benchmark, I guess that's a better word for when it's going to happen, because they're going to have to increase rates.
Yeah.
Like I said, the pricing for it is not, it's a little bit cheaper than the other signature resorts. So I think they're going to have to increase the rate. So I think that will kind of be the benchmark, the writing on the wall, the whatever for us if it's not announced that we know Express is coming, because the rates will start going up. And they'll be similar to the other signature hotels, not necessarily, oh, just because it's Christmas, they're going up. It's going to be kind of close as. Anyway, this is all our own professional opinions. Hypotheses. We are theme park scientists.
Sometimes when the brain cell cooperates.
It's sharing right now. We're almost, the brain cells bouncing back and forth. This is good. It's Rub them together. Okay, anyway.
The brain cell, it was not working.
God, okay.
It was purposeful. I also do legitimately have a headache, so sorry if you seem like I slept weird. Anyway, we are humans.
Right.
Let's hop into the lands.
Let's go. You do Celestial Park. Well, but let's bounce back and forth. You do Celestial. Well, wait, hold on. And then I'll do that, and then you. And then.
How about we just both talk?
Okay, fine.
So, Celestial Park is, again, as we said, it's the gateway land. So when you first walk into Epic Universe, you're going to see Celestial Park. It is the whole general idea of Epic is that some scientists figured out a way to open portals to different lands. Celestial Park is where that scientist lives. We've got Stardust Racers, which is the coaster. It's going to be racing coasters. Kind of, they say dueling, but I don't know that they like necessarily go through each other. I think they kind of do a double helix.
I think there's like a part or two that they intertwine, or they
yeah. It's going to look really cool at night. We have seen pictures and videos of this whole land being lit up at night, and it changes colors and it's got lights everywhere. It's just, so that also gives me a lot of hope that Epic itself as a park is going to stay open later than the other two Universal parks do right now. Because they close usually at like 7 or 8, and then sometimes they'll push it to 9.
8's pushing it some nights. Some nights it's like it's 7 to like 8 is like the average, but closer to 7. Sometimes 6. Granted, Halloween Horror Nights closes at 4. Had to bring it up. Sorry.
That's different. So I am hopeful that the fact that they're putting a lot of lights and nighttime dependent features, dark features, means that this park's going to stay open a little bit later. So I'm very excited for this ride. They also have Constellation Carousel, which in our notes says that if we need to be reminded what this is, our brain cell is not cooperating today. Constellation Carousel is a carousel.
I had to put it in there because I'm like, one of us is going to question it.
It's just a carousel. I mean, like, it's a cool kind of, this whole area is kind of steampunk-y vibe. It's like, it's
a little, but not as industrial. Like, I feel like steampunk's
like a fantasy steampunk vibe.
Okay, yeah, I think that fits better, but not, yeah, it's like a fantasy non-industrial steampunk. I don't know. I'm excited for it, and they have what?
Never mind. You're good.
I'm excited for the carousel because I think that'll be good. Again, as I said earlier, like thinking about things differently is I think it'll be good for Lucas because it's like it's all imagination. It's like not they're like made up creatures kind of, and like they have the splash pad there, which I think is really good. And this is one of those things that I was talking about where like they built this with kids in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like the other parks, yeah, they have bits, but it's
built around the park. It's an addition to where this is built, like the from ground up kid stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for this land. I'm really excited. I keep wanting to call it, now I'm forgetting, Star Coaster. It was something they had to change it because of copyright. The Stardust Racers.
No idea what it used to be.
They named it one thing and I kept calling it, and I finally fixed it now, like going back and forth. Yeah, there's a copyright with the initial name that they picked. So they had to change it to Stardust Racers, which I still think fits it. Actually, I think it fits it better because it does look like Stardust, like on the tracks, because you don't see the tracks at night. It looks like it's floating and it's really cool. Yeah, I'm excited for this land. I think this land, because it's an original, and I'm gonna bring up Halloween Horror Nights again, but with that, you see like the passion that they put into like the original houses, and I feel like that's the same thing you're getting here with Celestial Park. Is it's because it's so original, you can see the fun that they had in creating this land because it's from scratch. They created the whole thing themselves, and I think that's so cool. And I think you can see the passion that comes through with this. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. We're not going to list all the dining because it's a bunch.
Yeah, there's like
everything.
15 different rides, different restaurants. The big ones are the Atlantic, which is surf and turf. And then the Blue Dragon, which is a Pan-Asian restaurant. So lots of different Asian variety. And then there's a bunch of different quick service restaurants. They basically just about say what they have in the name of it.
Yeah.
Frosty Moon, it's ice cream. Pizza Moon is pizza. Like you'll be able to figure it out.
Comet Dogs is, hear me out, hot dogs.
Oh my goodness. But there's a bunch of stuff. There's bars and whatnot in there.
Everything. I think it's a good hub. I think it's a good hub because it kind of has everything.
Yeah, and that's good too, because then if, you know, you don't necessarily want the food at, I don't know, Super Mario, but you're hungry, passing through Celestial Park to get to one of the other portals, then you can just grab
Exactly. So yeah, I'm excited. So the next land is How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk.
This is why you wanted me to start, because you wanted to do this one.
No, I want to do Dark Universe, but that's at the end, so I can't because the numbers will be off. Because if I do this and you do Super Mario, and then I do Harry Potter, then you do Dark Universe. So I'm going to do this one, then you do the next two, then I'll do Dark Universe. Anyway, that's what I was trying to do before we started.
Okay. Anyway,
so How to Train Your Dragon. I have not watched this movie, and it is not because I don't want to watch the movie. But listen, for years, I have not been able to find it on any streaming service, like for years. And Kristen and I were talking about this. It's on Netflix right now. And Cody put it on for me 2 weeks ago when I was making dinner trying to watch Lucas. And I'm like, I can't watch it right now. So I need to sit down and watch it. I want to. Like I said, it's not that I haven't been able to find it. It's on Netflix. I believe both of them are. I'm going to sit down and watch it. I know the premise of it. I know I love dragons. Hello. So I want to sit down and watch this. And I'm really excited for this land. So I want to know the story, watch the movies and before I go. And I got time. But this land's really cool because again, kid stuff and adult stuff. So they have Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which is a roller coaster. From what I've read, they're comparing it to Flight of the Hippogriff. At Hogsmeade, Hogwarts, whatever that section is. It's like the combo. So it's like a kiddie barnstormer for those, that know Disney. It's a cute, I think, little ride. I will probably still ride it. I don't think it's gonna be as small as the Troller Coaster at Universal. Because the Troller Coaster to me is like baby roller coaster. I think Flight of the Hippogriff is like bigger.
Yeah, I'm thinking something above us. Goofy's Barnstormer. I'm thinking it's
I feel like to me it's like Troller Coaster, Barnstormer, Flight of the Hippogriff, but still on a little kid scale. Like it's still not crazy, but I'm excited for it. I think theming's
not little people. We're just gonna do a huge disclaimer for everyone. Please check the height requirements.
Check the height requirements.
And don't do stupid things like putting your kids in like heels and
glyphs. Oh my god, that makes me so angry.
The height requirements are there for your kids' safety. But if they really want to go on it, come back another year.
You have to. You can't. That makes me so sad that parents do that. I understand you want your kids to have a good time, but at what cost? Anyway. So I think it's gonna be a really cute little ride. We have notes up because there's just so much information. They have the fire drill, which we saw, and I think at this point it's all been released, but they showed us, I think, a little bit more artwork than what we've seen. It looks so cute. So it's interactive. So it's like, does Kilimanjaro, or not Kilimanjaro Safaris, geez, Cali River Rapids, do they have where you can squirt people? Okay, so that's what this is going to be like, but I
don't know that they do. I'm thinking of the Busch Gardens.
I was going to say, you're thinking of Busch Gardens. I knew it. So I know off the Volcano Bay, they have a lot of that. They if you walk over the lazy river, they have a bridge where you can shoot. And I think they're bringing that to this.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, except also the people that are on the ride are participating in trying to. It's Rough Nut and Tough Nut. Our teams are competing against each other. Rough Nut and Tough Nut, I believe, are Hiccup and Astrid's kids, I think. I'm so sorry if I got that wrong.
Don't ask me.
They are kids of some of the Vikings. Anyways, they've split up into 2 teams. They are doing this training scenario essentially, and they're aiming and shooting water pistols at each other. And you'll be able to sit outside at the Spitfire Grill and watch this, so you get some little entertainment while you're eating.
It's like Pinocchio Village House in the Small World, but like 30 times better. Yeah, I think that was gonna be cute. And I love water rides, but we've had this conversation about Cali River Rapids. I love those kinds of rides, but I hate it because then I'm miserable for the rest of the day. So like
they need to have like air dryers or something.
But even those I don't know, I don't love, but I don't know. The next one I will never get on, you cannot pay me to get on, is the Dragon Racers Rally, which is a claw ride. No, thank you. Don't even no.
But it's so I'm probably going to reference this a lot in this episode. The Discover Universal podcast, you absolutely need to listen to this because they have different episodes that are going really into depth on each land and on entertainment and everything. They were saying that essentially you're going to be able to kind of choose your thrill level. Like it's thrilling for everyone. Like there's a thrill, but I think everyone's essentially on their own prong. So you will be able to choose if you want to do barrel rolls or if you want to just spin. Or
Mission Space has orange and green, and they're both terrible.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do it just for science, but I will not eat until afterwards.
No, I have no interest in it. And I had read that you could change, and I'm like, no, I don't like spinny stuff. I don't know. I don't like claw rides, but I think it'll be cute. I don't know.
They also got the Viking training camp,
which it kind of reminds me of the DreamWorks, the Kung Fu Panda. What's it called? Pose Training Academy. I think that's what it's called, or something. I think it's going to be similar to that, which is cute because it gets kids to get their energy out.
Well, and it plays right into what you said earlier about them making sure that everything is just kind of woven together, family friendly, next to Dragon Racers Rally.
Yeah, I think that'll be really cute. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm excited for everything. I don't know. I need to stop saying that. And then they have 3 dining places here. They have a sit down meat hall, and then they have 2 quick service places. Again, I don't know. I'm actually more excited, I think, for Epic's food. I'm not a big fan of Islands or Adventure or Studios food. I have my own grievances. I won't get into it, but I also think it's very basic. I don't think they branch out very far. They stick to their burgers, their pizza, their chicken tenders. They stick to very basic theme park food. I think Epic's challenging them on that, and I think they're going outside of that box. So I'm really excited for that, to see how it is, because I think that they've closed themselves in the 2 other parks. So I think they're going to push themselves outside the box with Epic, and that's all I'm going to say on the food, because I don't know.
I mean, they've got a giant beer keg in the meat hall that's being called Kegosaurus. So I kind of love that. And to go on your point with them branching out, they also worked with people to create a custom mead and a custom ale for the mead hall. So like,
and Disney did that at Nomad Lounge. So yeah. And I think that's so cool, which is why I love Nomad Lounge. So yeah, I have high hopes for Epic and food and beverage choices.
Please don't let us down.
Right. Please.
Oh,
please. All right. And then a lot of the entertainment here, it's a lot of meet and greets, like a lot.
Yeah. They're going to have roaming characters that similar to kind of Disneyland-ish. I mean, they're going to have the little roaming nightlights, which are the little baby dragons. And they're going to have, you can meet Toothless and Hiccup, and Toothless is going to be like, the way that he is created, he's going to be able to interact with actual guests, and it's not just going to be like slow blink, look down, it's going to be a personalized experience for each guest. So if they can tell that the kid is a little bit nervous, he's probably going to get down,
lay
and,
down
like,
and like nuzzle and yeah.
exactly.
So we got a little bit taste of that with and again this is different because Donkey can talk. They did this previously before they relocated Shrek's swamp when it was Shrek 40, now it's Minions, but they've now put him back in the actual swamp, which is really cool. And we did it with Donkey, and that was so cool because it's Donkey talking to you, like having a conversation and saying your name and everything. Yeah, Kristen and I did it. Obviously they're not going to be necessarily talking, but I think the animatronic is going to be on a really cool level of like the way they progress this technology because they've been talking about it for so long. I just saw a video of like what it used to look like. They did it years ago with a show and like just how they've progressed it. So I'm really excited because like or
I'm
dragons
so
could just be real. I'm fine with that too. But not
they're
wyverns,
also
just
like
dragons.
dragons, which is super cool. I mm, I'm so excited. And
I know.
they also like legitimately worked with DreamWorks Pictures while they were creating this land to learn about the newest movie that they were creating so they could be sure that all of that would be integrated within the land and they wouldn't, open a brand new land and then be like, oh, we're already out of date.
Yep.
So cool. So cool.
I know. I'm so excited. I know. It's yeah. I think it's really cool. And I think that they're gonna have I think that's gonna be like one of the I think it's gonna be one of the most popular lands. Did I switch these around or did you switch these around? Or am I losing it?
I have not moved them
Okay,
at all.
so I didn't do the full counterclockwise then. Okay, well you can do the next two because I want to do Dark Universe because we're doing assignments here.
We also, sorry, real quick, The Untrainable Dragon is the kind of Broadway style show that they're bringing over from Universal Pictures. So that's supposed to be really cool. And it's got like songs and flying.
Dragon flies over top of you and I'm so excited.
Okay, next land is Super Nintendo World. It is going to be, if you've seen Universal Hollywood, it has this area. It is Super Nintendo themed. It's going to be on, I think, 2 different levels. You can interact with areas. You can buy what they call our power-up bands that are themed to different. I mean, they say Nintendo characters. It's essentially Super Mario characters. You've got Luigi,
Princess Peach, Mario, Toad, Bowser. Are you saying the bands?
Princess Peach is Princess Peach is. Oh, I'm saying the bands, but the bands are themed essentially to all of the characters that you will be able to meet in the lands, which are
well, I think
Luigi, Toad, Peach, so on.
But I think they only have a certain amount of bands. I don't think it's all of them. I think it's just, or is it?
I think it's to those.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was just like 4 or 5 of them. It wasn't like all of them, obviously. Like
yeah, but
or do they have it?
Characters that you can meet.
I know they have a Yoshi one, but not a Toad. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So meeting characters is the main entertainment for that land. We're just gonna get that done right off the bat.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be kind of rides, food, and you doing it.
Video game. Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole idea is that you have stepped into a Super Nintendo game and you are in this world and you can use those power-up bands to interact with things within the land, get points. Yay. They have a Universal Play app where you can collect the coins and goodies and you can compete. I was going to say interact with other people. You can compete against.
Technically are.
Yeah, but compete is more fun.
Yeah.
They've got 3 different rides. Yoshi's Adventure is an Omnimover ride for families to kind of explore the land. Yay. Mario Kart Bowser's Adventure is going to be an augmented reality experience where you can, again, use your band.
Get points.
To get points, and you race and you collect different items and you compete against different people on the ride. You don't have to have the band to play, but if you have the band, then
it adds.
Yeah, it adds to your account. Last one, which we touched on earlier in the episode, is the Minecart Madness, which is a Donkey Kong roller coaster that makes it seem as if you are going off the tracks of the mine train and you're going to be jumping over gaps and obstacles and They've got something similar to this in I
Japan.
can't remember which one of their Asian parks.
It's Japan. It's Japan.
Japan. Okay. So they've got it in Japan. They don't have it in Hollywood. But that's exciting because it's nice when these parks do different things in different areas, I think.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, Orlando has the space to do it. So why not expand?
Yeah. And then their food is Toadstool's Cafe, just quick service, and you get to watch the characters cooking your meal. And then they've got some little snacks and treats as well. Yeah. We're just running through that land because people have seen it in Hollywood, and well, it's not one of the. It is a new land here, but it is not a wholly new idea.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And I don't know. I'm excited for it, but like I think because we've already, like you kind of just said, like we've already kind of seen it. So like I'm excited, but I'm not as excited as a lot or as I am for the other lands because we've already kind of seen it. But I still think it's gonna be cool to like go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that vibe also plays for the next land, which is the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
So the whole idea for this land is that it's essentially the Fantastic Beasts movies, if you haven't seen, or if you have seen those. So it's 1920s Paris. You're going to be wandering around this kind of Art Nouveau type vibe. They've got really it's one ride and one attraction. So the ride, I'm excited for the ride. I wish it were at one of the other two Wizarding World parks. I don't know how it really melds into this, but it's the Battle at the Ministry. Feels kind of like Escape from Azkaban. Anyway, it's a dark ride, but essentially what happens is you somehow go into 1920s French Ministry of Magic and pop out in the 1990s British Ministry of Magic, where Dolores Umbridge is supposed to be on trial crimes and somehow escapes, and the trio is trying to capture her. I wish they had come up with like a fantastic. They could have done this with Grindelwald, quite honestly. I think it's going to be a really cool ride. I just wish they had gotten a little bit more creative and made it work within the 1920s France.
Yes.
Because that's going to be a vibe.
Yeah, I think the queue that we've seen looks cool because this still isn't open. This is not available for team member previews. So I think the queue that we've seen looks cool. I think the ride concept looks cool, but like you said, it just doesn't. It's trying to fit like a square into a triangle.
It's trying to fit Harry and himself into this land without.
It's called the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
No, I know they I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have feelings about it.
I have an open mind until I am actually there to see it.
I think it's gonna be. I think the set's gonna. I think it's. I don't think it's for lack of imagination or a lack of design or a lack of anything. I just think it's
be amazing.
It's just a weird fit. It doesn't feel like it fits.
Yes, agreed.
I don't know, like you said, I don't know. And I feel like there's not that much there, like you were saying, like it's just compared to the other, but I mean, really think about it. Diagon Alley only has one ride, but you could spend hours back there.
Yeah. But this
one, then I'm like,
Le Cirque Arcanu, which is going to be kind of like a circus show. But it's all contained. Whereas Diagon Alley is, you can wander and explore.
Yeah. You know what this is, it's reminding me of, and when you and Brooke and I were talking about this, we were talking about the new interactive wands, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's like Hogwarts Legacy," and that's the same kind of feel I'm getting from it. Like, I agree with her. Like, that's the video game that I play.
No, I know what that is. Are you
Oh, okay.
saying
I was like,
or a bad way,
um,
or just a way?
just a way. I wouldn't say
Okay.
good or bad. Like you said, this is one where I need to be there. I need to experience it and see how I feel. I don't want to make I don't want to say assumption, a judgment off of it just based off of this, because right now it's not good. I think I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised, but I still don't think I'm gonna love it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very
Sad because we both love Harry Potter. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
My man.
But the Cirque Canoe is essentially, if you've seen the Fantastic Beasts films, it's that area where Nagini is, and what's his name? Anyway, I don't like him.
Not Florence. Anyway.
Who I don't like as a human being. Sorry if you like him.
Yeah, right. No, he's terrible. I'm gonna remember his name in like 10 hours. Okay, go ahead.
No, Ezra Miller.
Oh yeah, but his name in the movie, I can't remember his name right now. Something with an int. Go ahead. This is wasting time.
So they've got that circus area. So there's going to be acrobatics. You're going to be going into a place that looks bigger on the inside than it does the outside. All that fun stuff. I think the real draw of this land is going to be that there's going to be a lot of walking entertainment outside of the attractions.
Credence. Sorry.
Thank you. Ents.
I googled it real quick. I told you there's an ents in it.
Good job. As we said earlier, the portraits, whereas like in over in Hogsmeade, the portraits in the Hogwarts ride can interact with each other. These can interact with the guests, so that's fun. They're gonna have like a roaming troupe of wizarding students. I say troupe, it's gonna be someone from Beauxbaton, Hogwarts, and Ilvermorny. I guess walking around with the Monster Book of Monsters for funsies, and like you can interact with them and with the book. So that's fun. It brings a little bit of that Fantastic Beasts feel into it as well, because you've got Ilvermorny and you've got the Beasties.
Yeah. You know what it is too about this land, the more you're saying it, somebody who isn't very like somebody who's like a casual fan of Harry Potter is not going to get a lot of this.
That'll be interesting to see exactly how much of it. I think the next one, they've got an Auror who's going to be interrogating people as they're trying to go into the French ministry for the Battle at the Ministry ride. I think people will get that vibe, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm not upset. Like, I don't know. I'm not upset with any of this. I think it's great. I don't know. I just feel weird about it. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's because we've got 2 other Harry Potter lands already.
That were done like perfectly.
Is pretty new.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But they've also got 3 different places to eat. They've got Le Goblet Noir, which you have listed as sounds, salads, entrees, and desserts. I'm not sure what the sounds are.
Probably soups. Oh, good. The thumbs up's back. Probably soups. I would say soups. I was doing this at like 11 o'clock at night. I was tired.
I meant to ask you about that beforehand and forgot. And then you've got the Cafe of the Siren. I'm not saying that in French. Which is going to be where you're going to get your butterbeer, and then they've got like or moonshine. And then you get to do the next land.
Okay. I want everybody to be shocked. This is my one I'm most excited for is Dark Universe. This was my feeling on Dark Universe. All the other lands, yes, while they're technically owned by Universal, this is like their bread and butter. This is like the base of the company, or the classic monsters. Yes. And so I'm really excited because again, it's similar to what I said about Celestial Park, where you can see that they're putting the passion. This is them building upon their roots. This is building more out of where they came from, what they started as, and I'm really excited for that. So it's like kind of different about like, you know, Celestial. But anyway, so um when I was down there for the training, we had a welcome dinner at Aventura, and we and this is okay, I'm literally just getting into the lore of the land at this point. We'll go over specifics, but I'm gonna get, this is my favorite fun fact. Like, I'm so like, I'm gonna stand outside of this restaurant, and as people go in and be like, do you know what you're walking into? Do you know the story of this? Um, so we end up talking to one of the reps that, you know, we interact with a lot. Haley knows him. And he was like, you know, within 30 seconds, we talking about Epic. He goes, oh, well, if you go to this side of the bar, you can see Epic. So we go, we start talking about it. This was right before it was announced. He told us that Hans Zimmerman had done a custom score for this part of the park, or this land. So like, that's really cool. And then I'm sorry, Danny Elfman. I said Hans Zimmerman when we were talking because we were trying to remember who. Danny Elfman did a custom score for this portion of the park.
From
In this park,
sorry, of
what?
Nightmare Before Christmas fame.
Oh yeah.
Who don't understand that name?
Yes. He basically is like the musical version of Johnny Depp.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Oh my God. Well, Tim Burton is basically the director version of Johnny Depp. Okay, see, they're all intertwined. So hello, they all worked on Edward Scissorhands and Nightmare Before Christmas. They're the same person.
I was adding.
They're all three of them. Speaking of sharing a brain cell, they all share a brain cell. So anyway, so in this land, they have, it's called Das Steakhouse, and it's spelled Stake. Yeah, okay, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
So essentially what it is, it's a steakhouse. Yeah, spelled like a well, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway. So it's run by familiars of vampires. So you go in, and the way that this universe works is they use stabbing vampires with a stake. Like, they don't die if you stab them with a stake. They get frozen in time. So they use this as like punishment in this land. Like, if you break the vampire law, you get stabbed and you're frozen in time. So when you walk into the steakhouse, there's frozen vampires staked along all the walls. Like, I know. So that's going on. So you go and you eat, and the familiars are running it. So what the point of this is when you leave, you probably didn't notice when you walked in, there's stakes and spikes outside of the restaurant, and they're going to stake you onto the stakes, and the vampires that are working downstairs, all your blood drips down and it feeds the vampires.
Yeah. Obviously, they're not really going to kill people. Sorry, just for those random people that are gonna think. You said they'll stake you, which makes sense. People are gonna be weird, so I'm just playing to their baser weirdness.
Whatever. Okay. Well, yeah, they're not going to kill you. I mean, maybe if you ask nicely,
People,
they might.
I've worked with the public far too often to underestimate them.
True. So I'm really excited for that. I mean, like, I'm not like that early excited about a restaurant, but the lore of it's really cool. And this is why I'm excited for this land, because the lore behind this land is so cool. Everything has a story. It's so cool. So they have, I'm gonna read it because I know what it is, but I'm not gonna remember. And I keep thinking Monsters Unmasked, which is Halloween Horror Nights house. But it's Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, and this is really cool. So basically, Victoria Frankenstein is doing experiments on all the monsters, and Dracula is like, no thank you. And he breaks out and gets all the other monsters, and you're basically on an adventure following them around trying to escape. And I'm like, set me up.
And these are like those brand new state of the art animatronics that people
dark rides, and it's a dark ride.
Yeah, and the people who have gone on this ride and come off have said that they look real, which is kind of terrifying, but kind of awesome. Like, really awesome.
This is like Halloween Horror Nights in a ride. Like,
yeah.
I'm so excited. And then they have Curse of the Wolfman, or Werewolf, which obviously is based off of Wolfman. He's in the ride.
Yeah.
Duh. This one has another one that spins. So I'm like, I'm gonna get on it.
But that I think is going to be kind of a similar vibe to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I can handle that kind of
It's gonna
spinning.
be like,
I mean,
really
you're
big.
spinning kind of like that from what I've seen, but like it's, I don't know, the claw thing freaks me out. This I could do, especially because it's Dark Universe. I'll suck it up and do it. But they do say that this one is more family friendly. Like it's not like a crazy, like it doesn't have drops and stuff. Like it's more of like I think it says roller coaster, but I think it's more of like, I don't think the track is not super crazy.
Yeah, and I think I had this pulled up earlier. I think the height requirement, the height requirement for that is lower than for Monsters Unchained. So
Yeah, so they're advertising this as more of like a kid friendly ride. I mean, obviously, again, as we always say during everything, you know your kid best. If they're going to be afraid, don't take them on it. But it's more kid friendly than Monsters Unchained,
yep.
I think. So, and again, if you don't know, watch POVs once the park opens, and you'll know. I send them to clients all the time. Where I'm like, if your kid, I don't know if your kid's gonna like it. I did it with clients with Dinosaur. I'm like, they probably won't like it. Here's a POV. It's gonna look rough because the ride's rough. Make a decision. Um, and then this one I hate saying this. I don't foresee this one staying around long. Is the makeup experience?
I might disagree with that because so they've got the Darkmoor Monsters makeup experience. It's available to people of all ages.
Yes,
So that's
but well, hear me out. They did this. Was it last year at studios? It was either last year or the year before. It was supposed to be like a limit. They stopped doing it after like a month because it wasn't performing well. It was for all ages.
yeah, but this is like in the land.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think it's cute. I don't know. I don't foresee it.
Yeah. Well, we shall see as it
Right? I know. If not, they can just put another ride in there. I'm fine with that. Halloween Horror Nights. Um, so they have a bunch of meet and greets. The only one that I have seen so far from the team member previews is Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
She's the only one I've seen.
Yeah. Oh, well, I just realized that I added something you already had in there.
I was like, why is my screen moving?
No. I'm intrigued. They also say that they're going to, so you said Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
They've Invisible Man. I'm very intrigued to figure out how they're going to do a meet and greet with a person whose whole thing is not being able to be seen.
So, okay. So the way that they did it for, was it Unmasked? One of the, whichever, yeah, would have been,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been Universal Monsters Unmasked. They had him, I can't remember now. I can see the poster in my mind. He was only in like the house like twice, but they had him in that. So I feel like I don't.
But they're not interacting with. I mean, they're interacting with people, but
Yes,
they're not.
they are. They're scaring me.
But being like part of a house in Halloween Horror Nights is different.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. That's why I'm saying I've only seen Bride of Frankenstein so far, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think one picture I saw Frankenstein in with, or
Mm-hmm. Same.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like this one they're still fleshing out some of the details. I feel like more than some of the other lands. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I just want to meet all of them.
Yeah, same. I also like that they've kind of the whole vibe for this land is to make it feel as if it still continues to operate whether the guests are there or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like they've got the roaming musician who's telling the story of Darkmoor and Dark Universe. They've got the monster hunter.
Hunters. I know. I'm so excited for that because I think that's going to be cool because it's just giving you, like you said, it's like you said, it's just like kind of continuing to exist. Like, like last night this happened or whatever. And I don't know. I think that's,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be, I think it'll be good for those. bring it up for the 20th time. Those who want to do Halloween Horror Nights because they love this side of it, they love the classics, and I think this land will be really good just to get like your feet wet and just like try it out. And like it's not necessarily going to be scary. It's going to be spooky. It's going to be spooky more than scary, I think, but like in a super fun way. What's that sound first? It was scary. Then it was, I can't remember the sound.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do. I'll send it to you. But yeah, so I'm really excited. And then they have, as I said, Das Steakhouse. And then they have 2 other places to eat, which, you know, I don't know. It's
The Burning Blade Tavern seems really cool to me. That's the one that you see that's got the windmill on top. They like worked with actual like aeronautical engineers to develop a fabric that could continuously be set on fire without damaging the structure night after night after night after night. I think
I know. Cool. Oh, that reminded me. I have one other tidbit that Corey told us about. Oh my God, who was it? I can't remember his name, and it's gonna bother me. The Frankenstein, it's not an animatronic, it's a sculpture that's inside of the monsters Unchained, right? Oh my God, I'm losing. Yeah, I keep thinking Unmasked. Monsters Unchained, right? So whoever did these sculptures for the original Frankenstein movie, I can't remember his name. The family who owns the rights to Frankenstein, they said they will only allow.
Oh, Boris Karloff.
What's his name?
No, are you talking about the person who originally was Frankenstein's
No. The who did all of the I guess like I don't know if they have like sculpture. Oh my God, I can't remember what he said now because like I can't mom brain. But it was the family. No, it wasn't the actor. But it was whoever I guess did the oh my God, the practical effects for the movie, who did all his makeup and stuff. I guess they said that was the only one they wanted to ever do any remakes of, so they got, I don't think it was him, but I think it's his son to do. So they have a huge Frankenstein statue that was designed. Yeah. I can't remember it now, and now I'm like really sad because that was gonna be one of my fun facts. Anyway, doesn't matter. Audit
facts that I forgot to sprinkle in here that are gonna like eat at my if I don't say this. The first being that the tallest building in Diagon Alley is still smaller than the shortest building in the Ministry of Magic area over Epic. So that's how enormous this scale is going to be.
I could buy that because I feel like Diagon Alley, like now that you say that, I can see that Diagon Alley doesn't feel that tall.
It feels tall when you're in it, I think, but I think if you like step back and you're like, oh, okay. But
you can't really see it like while you're in the other lands. You can't really see it. I don't know. That makes sense. But no, I agree. I see what you're saying. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I think that's cool because it means, like you said, it's going to be like super immersive. Because it's not that you walk in there, you're like, oh, all these buildings look short. But now that you're saying that, I'm like, I could see how these buildings are going to be taller because it's
an epic scale. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway. Tidbit number 2 is that Isle of Berk is the largest of all these lands at 15.5 acres.
I would buy that because I feel like they have the most things.
Oh yeah, but like just the scale of it, and that's another one that they want you to think, whether you're there or not, these characters are out, and this is an actual place for
functioning. Yeah,
a functioning Viking village with dragons.
Yeah. I feel like Super Mario's got to be the smallest. Did they say which was the smallest? Because I feel like it's got to be Super Mario.
They didn't, but it absolutely.
Yeah. It makes me think of like claustrophobia, like feel claustrophobic. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Okay, were those all your fun tidbits that you wanted to throw in? Okay. Yeah. All right. And then I say we do our rankings of what we're least excited for to most excited for, and then I think we're done with this episode because we talked
probably our brain cell has probably aligned on this.
Has it? Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Do you want to do 1, 1, 2, 2, or just all the way down?
Yeah, let's go back and forth. Okay, what's the one you're least excited for?
Least excited for?
Yeah.
Super Mario. So I think that's going to be one place that we're differing.
Yeah, well, it would be there. Mine's Harry Potter. Mine literally is Harry Potter.
I think I'm changing to Harry Potter.
Copycat.
No, because I just remembered there are more rides over here.
Yeah, that's kind of where I don't know. Harry Potter is going to be the one that I got to see in person.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's number 4 then? I already know.
No.
Ooh.
I'm changing it up. Oh, yeah. 4 is going to be Super Mario.
Okay, same.
What?
Same. All right, what's number 3?
Okay, say it on count of 3. Because I think it's going to be the same.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. 1, 2,
2.
3. Celestial Park. Okay, so then what's your number 2? 1, 2, 3. Isle of Berk. Okay, what's your number 1? 1, 2, 3. Dark Universe. Okay, yeah, we agree. Okay, cool.
Okay, but my top one is because I'm one of those people that you said I'm into it because of the history of the film. Like I was almost a film major in college, so and the monsters of Universal were what kind of dragged me into it and what made me like Halloween Horror Nights. So
You're welcome.
yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, good, because then when we go in October, we can see if our theories are right.
We can prioritize the same places.
Yes. Agree. Okay, all right, well, that was
probably you're gonna need multiple days to really see everything.
Yeah, you can't do this in one day. There's no way. You could, but you're not going to see everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see how it shakes out over the next year after it's been open for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We are hopefully going to go later this year, and we'll report back after we see it.
We're going to be there at Christmas time, which I'm really excited for.
I hate you a little bit.
Sorry, just come with us. It's fine. You can crash the trip.
Yeah.
Okay. Just crash in the room with us. It'll be fine. Okay, well, that was a doozy of an episode, but we did give a heads up. We did give a disclaimer. We did.
And you can watch us on 2 times speed, even though we talk at 2 times speed anyway, because we have ADHD. That's it. Let us know what parks or what lands you are most excited for in the comments.
If you have any questions, ask us, because we probably know, or we'll get an answer at some point.
Yeah, hopefully before they tell the general public, because sometimes they like to drop that on us. We will see you next time. Thank you for listening along.